Okay, guys, help me understand this. I'm trying to make sense of a. So, it was a conversation I had with my mother, and I was trying to make sense of the conversation, and it just. So, I was trying to understand why. Um, I was trying to understand why her grandfather got his nickname, and it didn't because it turned into I know you can't see me, but it was kind of like a nickname. I mean, well, obviously it's a nickname, but it was kind of like a situation where it was a joke, which obviously I knew the joke. I knew the joke, and I understood that it was a joke. But I guess I was trying to get a deeper meaning from it. I was trying to make more sense of it and why it was that. And, you know, and then whenever I tried to, and then she was telling me that you keep trying to make a logical reasoning out of it, and there was no logical reasoning behind it. It was just a joke, and it was just that. So it was a joke, and then you just kind of move on. And I was just saying that, and she was saying, no, it wasn't that. But like, if there's no meaning behind it, then it's just a joke. You know what I'm saying? It's just a joke, and then move on. And she said I wasn't listening. I wasn't open. I wasn't hearing it. I mean, I was hearing everything. I was listening to that part. I guess, well, then she told me that I was just trying to fit it into a space, and that it was just that, and sometimes it won't fit into anything, and it'll just be a space. But then I was saying it was I guess because he was it's kind of gonna be hard if I don't tell you the full context, but it was like a Chinese joke, and he wasn't even there to hear a conversation. Like, the conversation didn't happen. And so the conversation he had is where he had like this, it was like a Chinese, it sounded Chinese what he said. I mean, it was two Chinese people that he was talking about. So it was like, but they weren't actually there. And this is kind of hard if I don't give you the full context. But I can't really give you the full context. So I guess you can't really help with it. But the problem is when I was trying to make sense of it and understand it, she brought up that I didn't come from this or I didn't come from that. And I've already heard that a lot in my life. So I'm like, as soon as I hear stuff like that, I kind of just, what's it called? I kind of just, and not just from random people, I've heard it from family too, but I kind of just shut my ears. As soon as that happens, it's kind of like, you lost me. as soon as you do that, and I was telling her not to get personal, and then it kind of just became that, I guess. But she was saying it wasn't that. But, and then she was telling me I wasn't listening to her. She was telling me everything that I was doing, and it wasn't my intention, but that's what was happening. And I was telling her the same thing, that it wasn't her intention to get personal and try to do that. Shut down. That's what I was trying to say. I shut down as soon as people bring up what I haven't experienced or what I haven't done or whatever, because that's so annoying. That's so annoying to me. I shut down. I'm not, because what I'm explaining has nothing to do with that. Like, you can have a conversation without it involving what people would like. People, you know what I'm saying? Like, without having to cut people off like that, or without having to, you know what I'm trying to say, without having to do personal attacks like that, you know. But that's kind of what, you know, I've experienced that a lot. And it's irritating, it's frustrating to me. I already have these thoughts in my mind sometimes anyways. But then when I hear them from other people, then I'm just like, all it does is fan the flames. And, you know, some will try to tell me this and that. But as soon as you start getting personal and stuff like that, then it kind of, you lose me. I'm not even trying to get personal. It's just, I'm trying to understand something. It doesn't matter what I've experienced or not. Because obviously I haven't experienced everything that everybody else has experienced. And there's things that that I've experienced that nobody else has experienced. So it's kind of pointless to, you know, but that's kind of, you know, it is what it is. You just kind of gotta figure it out and understand. But I don't know, when people do that, I kind of just tune them out. Because I'm like, I'm not asking for all of that. Like, you don't even have to go there. Because then I get to, you haven't done this, or you haven't experienced this, or you haven't experienced that. And I'm not just talking about in this conversation, but I try to avoid doing that because it frustrates me when they do that. I'm like, it's in situations where that's not even necessary. It's not even needed. It's not even needed. So I don't know, but when that happens, then you realize nobody's listening to anybody. Neither side is really listening when that comes about. You know, but am I in the wrong? I just want to know, like, because I know I can't tell you the full thing, but based on what I've told you, I know I've said in the conversation, I said certain things where I may not have been listening per se, but based on what I've told you that I can tell you, because I can't get too deep, but based on what I've told you, am I in the wrong? Like, help me out. And you don't have to just say yes because you're listening to me. Just say, like, give your honest opinion. Like, help me out. Because I'm trying to make sense of it. As I feel like I just wanted to understand. I didn't want to have you haven't been through this, you haven't been through that, you haven't, I didn't want to get into that. So all I wanted to do was understand one thing. And it ended up into but obviously there's things that she's experienced that I've never experienced, yes. And I've known this since I could remember anything. So I've always tried to avoid bringing that up. And then I went through stuff that she hasn't went through also. And I've never brought that up. I've never said that unless it was brought to me first and then I brought it back up. But I've never started that. I've never so I just help me understand. I just want to understand. I just want to make sense of it. And I know cars have passed by, so it might be hard for you to hear me, but yeah, because I was frustrated for about half an hour afterwards, and I just had to go for a walk. And I know some of y'all are going to be like, where I am, I can't even walk. I can't even go for a walk. There's another thing I know. So I've heard that. I've heard a million things that people experience that maybe I can't experience everything that everybody else experiences. That's just not realistic. So I don't know what to, if you're going to say that, I don't know what to tell you. Right? But I can't experience everything that everybody else experiences, and they can't experience everything that I experience. So I really hate those type of conversations, because all it does is it's just a back and forth, a struggle Olympics type of thing. I don't like that. I do not like that. I like to just have a conversation that just stays within the parameters of the conversation, and not I don't want to say victimhood, but not something that is it's personal. I don't like when it gets personal, because then I get frustrated, you get frustrated, we all get frustrated, and nobody's hearing anybody. And that's what it ended up being at the end. Everybody was frustrated. So yeah, help me out. I just want to understand.